Diciamo che ma Gio devi imparare a fare un po' io dai sì guarda stava attraverso questo quindi allora con cazzo ma sbagliavo non dico non mi sono dire lo dico una lo ha non devi andando lo Oh, tapi di luar itu coba. Masih mana ya? Jadi ada kalau oh, ya, Oh, vale, vamos, ahora va a bueno, no no para tú que estamos oh, listo, ahora vale, no, muy bien. Quiero decir, pero más barato. Hablo, no te no, no, no. No, 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 hay que ver la verdad, porque primero está. No tengo la verdad. Encarna, Hablando con no puedo y yeah, yo, yeah. It's not close. Abang bilang kau tahu uang, kau aku beri, itu kan tahu kan, ini tak menjauh, ini dia apa? Orang tua, orang tua ni. Oh, Oh, alam jadi mana teknologi ini ya. Kalau natural oh, ini natural. Entonces, en lo que siempre
I tested. Hello. Hello, Mr. Chairman. I am Minjani. Okay.
Just assist me, man. The camera Leikomba, it doesn't show the TV behind me.
No, you come back in. You come back Parliament. Parliament. Hello. Manage.
Yeah.
Okay. I know we come back Parliament.
Yeah, sure. Can you scroll up the agenda? On point number 5, obviously okay, point number 3, 4, and 5, they'll go into legacy report.
Yeah. That's why we sungule number 3, then
Okay.
and then number 5, then from there the information will go into number 6.
Okay.
Yeah. And then laka number 4 la no and logo after I'm deliberating, and then I can go through the report for consideration and report for adoption.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then already the panel report is scheduled for Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
All right. Wala Susa. Thurston? Morning, Adam.
Hi Eddie, how are you?
I'm okay, you?
Good, good. Do you want me to present on the report later? Then you must just make me a co-host.
Yeah, okay, let me do that. I'll do the panel report, ne?
Okay, sure.
Okay, and then you can do the other two.
Yeah, and I mean for the legacy report, basically we just need to adopt the oversight report, and then I'll include that inside the legacy report, so I don't have to actually go through the legacy report. It's exactly how we had it before. I'll just add this report to it.
No, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, digo por lo que te dan. Oh, madre. Ah, te vas a decir. Me equivoco.
Recording in progress.
Morning, Chairperson.
Morning, Mr. Matonzi.
Yes, Chair. It's 10 o'clock now. We have got 7 members in the meeting. I'm sure others will be joining us as we go. And then we have got the IEC and also the department from legal service. We've got Ms. Daksha Kassim.
Okay, thanks very much. Good morning, honorable members. Morning, the Minister of Home Affairs and the entire team of Home Affairs, the chairperson of the IEC and the entire commissioners and the executive. We welcome in Parliamentary Legal Services. We welcome you to this special meeting requested to consider the items that have been highlighted on the agenda. We're fully aware that we're now closer to the provincial and national elections. We're observing the development around the issues that are confronting but so far I think we're confident in a manner that the issues have been resolved by the IEC and the Electoral Court, and others are before the Constitutional Court. This meeting will take, if you recall that we did consider to request the Minister and the IEC to review or to re-advertise for the panel to be considered by the Portfolio Committee and Parliament. And we've ought to have dealt with the matter earlier in February, so that before Parliament dissolves, all these matters have been able to be dealt with. So today's meeting will be able to reflect on the issues the Minister has tabled before the House, the panel report and the details, and we have requested the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee Secretary to notice members of the committee and circulate the details, and request further that members must consult on the details that are arising from the report. And the Minister and the team will give details on this report, and the IEC if there are comments that need to be dealt with. We have conducted an oversight, both VFS located at the Home Affairs and the IEC, and the report should be briefly presented here to the committee, and also for us to be able to adopt the legacy report. You recall, members, that in our last meeting when we were dealing with the legacy report, we did resolve that both the panel and the oversight that we'll be conducting will form part of the legacy report before Parliament rises. So the 6th item will reflect on that. We note the side issues that are being raised in relation to the work that the IEC is engaged on. We resolve in our committee, in fact, in the interaction with the IEC recently, to check the preparations for both the provincial and the national election. The issues that are rising give confidence to readiness of the IEC to conduct the provincial and national elections. Members, I will then invite Mr. Matonzi on item number 2, and also invite members of the stakeholders that are in attendance to introduce those that are in attendance, and apologies to be presented to the committee. I'll also ground my video given the challenges of the network electricity that will be confronting soon here where I'm located. Mr. Matonzi?
Yes, Chairperson, from my side, I've got 2 apologies. An apology from the Deputy Minister of Home Affairs, and also an apology from Delane, who she said no, she's outside of the country on a business. She's unable to attend. That's all from my side.
Thank you. Can I invite the Minister of Home Affairs to indicate if there's any other, or introduce the team that is in attendance? Minister Mtoledi?
Chair, I did not see the Minister in the meeting, but there is the DG there.
Thank you.
And Advocate Kumar as well.
Okay, thank you. Director General?
Good morning, Chairperson, and good morning, honorable members. Also switch off the video to ensure better connectivity. Chairperson, the minister will join afterwards. He was held up at an engagement, and I think once he's landed, they should be able to join. I think Mr. Matonze has already extended an apology from our Deputy Minister, Nzuza. And then I have two apologies from two DDGs, apology from Mr. Thomas Sigama, DDG for Civics, and Mr. Tulani Mavuso, who's also engaged in another activity. And then, of course, from the department, we joined by the following. The first one is Advocate Pelelani Kumalo, who will lead the presentation, and then Advocate Moses Malakate from Legal, and then DDG Mudiri Matthews, acting DDG, responsible for IMS, and then, of course, Riaz Musa from IGR and Muzi Njokwe. And also good morning to the commissioners of the IEC, the chairperson and the executive. Thank you, chairperson.
Thank you very much. The IEC, Commissioner Miebza.
Chairperson of the committee, honorable members, colleagues, and DG and your team, good morning. We are here as the IEC. I have the Vice Chairperson, the Judge Pillay, Commissioner Mashinini as well, joining us. From the administration, we are joined by Ms. Aktari Henning. I do not expect the CEO to join us for two reasons. One, it's a tough day here today, but two, these matters do impact on him personally, and so I think we are fine as a team here. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Parliamentary Legal Services.
Good morning, Chairperson, honourable members and all stakeholders. This is Daksha Kassim here from Parliamentary Legal Services. I'm joined by Mr. Jabula Ngwenya from our office. And as Eddie mentioned, there are apologies from Talana. She's currently out of the country. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Matonzi, is that all the stakeholders in attendance able to introduce themselves?
Yes, Chair.
Okay. Thank you, colleagues, and all apologies have been noted and accepted to this meeting. I will invite the Director General to introduce the report and request Advocate Kumalo to present the report. Thank you, Director General.
Thank you very much, Chairperson and honorable members. I'm not sure if Mr. Matonzi, you're flighting the presentation from that side on our behalf. Advocate Kumalo, are you online? Just to say, Chairperson, the purpose of this presentation, of course, is to consider, for you to consider the names of the 9 identified nominees to be appointed as members of the Electoral Reform Consultation Panel, as required in terms of the Amendment Act. If we can have the presentation on a presentation mode, Advocate Kumalo, you can then take over the presentation. Thank you.
Mr. Maton, assist us to request, I'm not sure who's disturbing the meeting. Maybe we can request our colleague to mute so that we don't disrupt the meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you, DG, Advocate Kumalo.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning to you. Mr. Jogo is sharing the screen on my behalf. Then I will take the committee through the presentation. And good morning to all honorable committee members. Committee members, you will remember that most of this presentation was presented before. And of course, like we are saying that the purpose of the presentation is to then request the National Assembly to, as contemplated in Section 23(9)(b) of the Electoral Amendment Act, hereinafter referred to as Amendment Act, to approve the names of 9 identified nominees to be appointed as members of the Electoral Reform Consultation Panel, hereinafter referred to as the panel. Next, please. In terms of the legislative timeframes for establishing the panel and the functions of the panel, Section 23(1) of the Amendment Act requires the Minister of Home Affairs to, within 4 months after the commencement of the Act, establish the panel. Section 23(2)(a) of the Amendment Act stipulates that the functions of the panel are to independently investigate, consult on, report on, and make recommendations in respect of potential reforms of the electoral systems for the election of the National Assembly and the election of provincial legislatures in respect of the elections to be held after 2024 elections. Section 23(2)(b), still on the same slide, sorry, Njogo. Section 23(2)(b) of the Amendment Act obliges the panel to perform its functions referred to in paragraph A in a manner that enables Parliament to exercise its constitutional powers to determine the electoral system for the elections of the National Assembly and provincial legislatures in respect of the elections to be held after 2024 elections. Next, please. Section 23(9) of the Amendment Act provides as follows. 9, in order to establish and constitute the panel, the minister must, A, call on the public and any interested parties to nominate fit and proper South African citizens who have the necessary skills, expertise, experience, knowledge, or academic qualifications in the administration and the running of elections or constitutional law or electoral systems, are not members of Parliament or of any provincial legislature, and have not in the past 12 months been office bearers or employees of any political party. B, in consultation with the Commission and after the approval by the National Assembly, appoint 9 members to the panel from such nominated persons who satisfy the criteria specified in paragraph A, and C, appoint 1 of the members of the panel as the chairperson of the panel. Next, please. Section 23(3) of the Amendment Act stipulates that the panel must, prior to the 2024 elections, engage in research and consider the issues falling within its function. After the 2024 elections, undertake a public participation process regarding the issues falling within its functions, and C, from the date of its establishment, submit a report to the minister every 3 months on its progress. In terms of Section 23(4) of the Amendment Act, the panel must, within 12 months of the date of the 2024 elections, submit a report to the minister on the possible options for electoral reform for the election of the National Assembly and the election of the provincial legislatures, which must include A, reasons, potential advantages and disadvantages, B, legal and constitutional implications, and C, financial implications for each proposed electoral system or electoral reform identified by the panel. Next, please. The Amendment Act was assented to and signed into law by the Honorable President Cyril Ramaphosa on the 13th of April 2023. On 19 May, the Department of Home Affairs, hereinafter the department, after consultation with the IEC, published a notice calling upon members of the public as well as any interested parties to nominate fit and proper South African citizens for membership of the Electoral Reform Consultation Panel. That was the first notice. The first notice was published in proclamation number 695 in Government Gazette 48635 on 19 May 2023. Soon thereafter, the President signed the proclamation to bring into force and operation the Amendment Act. The proclamation was published in Proclamation 696 in Government Gazette 48839 on 22nd June 2023. Next, please. The notice published on 19 May 2023 was therefore issued prior to the commencement of the Act, as the President was required to issue a proclamation as to the date on which the Amendment Act comes into operation. The department, together with the IEC, proceeded to draft the requisite correction notice, which was then the second notice. The rationale for correction notice was inter alia to extend the period up to 11 August 2023. The second notice was published in Proclamation 697, Government Gazette 49014 on the 21st of July 2023. Next. As at 11 August, the department had received 25 nominations ranging from medical doctors, academics, former chairpersons of IC, as well as former and current commissioner of the IC. After receiving the nominations, the department began the process of analyzing nominations with the criteria set in Section 23(9)(a) of the Amendment Act and the second notice. The notice called upon the public to submit nominations, and the requirements were necessary skills, expertise, experience, knowledge, or academic qualification in the administration and running of the elections or constitutional law or electoral systems, not be a member of parliament or any provincial legislature, and not in the past 12 months have been an office bearer or employee of any political party. All motivated nominations indicating the prescribed requirements and which must be accompanied by acceptance of nominations duly signed by nominated candidates. Next, please. Next, please. So these were the nominations that were received from the first advert. Number one was Dr. Courage Magdaf Koza, 2, Dr. Malume Tebaso Komo, 3, Mr. Ibrahim Fakir, 4, Judge Johan Krichler, 5, Mr. Lawson Naidu, 6, Mr. Michael Louis, 7, Mr. Lito Nonom Politele, 8, Mr. Silindi Vesit Faku, 9, Mr. Michael Atkins, 10, Mr. Posa Yan Mashongwane. Next. 11, Prof. Stephen Friedman, 12, Mr. Tabo Manyoni, 13, Ms. Zama Auzwi, 14, Prof. Sats Cooper, 15, Advocate Richard Kalipi Cezanne, 16, Advocate Lavan Gobal, 17, Mr. Norman Duplessis, 18, Paul Malcolm Graham, 19, Mr. Terry Ismail Tselani, 20, Advocate Faith Penzi Tikeledi Takula, 21, Mr. Philip McKenney, 22, Mr. Tembingosi Josopo. Next. 23, Mr. Patudi Simon Mamabul. 24, Mr. Michael Andre Hendrickson. 25, Miss Janet Love. Next. The criteria that was agreed to at that time between the minister and the IEC. Next. Consultation between the minister and the IEC. This was the first consultation in the first round. During the consultation, the following criteria was adopted by the minister and the IEC to be used in shortlisting the nominees with a view of recommending the 9 nominees for approval by National Assembly. 1, the democratic profile, which was the composition of the panel needed to reflect a balance in various demographic criteria. 2, constitutional legal framework, which included the demonstrated understanding of constitutional and national legislative imperatives relevant to the electoral systems. 3, the understanding of economic and fiscal implications of varied electoral systems. 4, demonstrated understanding of political systems in functioning democracies in the different parts of the world, persons who do not hold elected political office in any political party. 6, persons who are not members of parliament, provincial legislature, and municipal councils. Next, please. Then, in continuing with the criteria, 7 was the involvement in community activism and upliftment. 8, demonstrated research ability. 9, people who demonstrated a willingness to explore options and solutions rather than hold fixed views in relation to democratic systems and electoral systems. And 10, the electoral experience was seen as an added advantage and may include demonstrated or applied knowledge of electoral systems, experience in electoral administration, knowledge of electoral legislative frameworks. Next, please. Now, the revised call for nominations. Next, please. On 30 November 2023, the minister submitted and presented on a report relating to the work done to establish the panel to the joint sitting of the portfolio committees on Home Affairs and Justice and Correctional Services, the joint sitting. During this presentation to the joint sitting, Minister submitted 9 names from the list of nominees received. Minister also requested for condonation for not establishing the panel within 4 months as required by Section 23(1) of the Amendment Act, providing the joint sitting the reasons for such a delay. The joint sitting, after its deliberation, resolved that the minister should publish a fresh notice. The joint sitting was further of the opinion that there was not enough demographic representation on the list. The notice appeared on Government Gazette with the closing date for submission of the names set as 19 January 2024, the December notice. Following the joint sitting, the department published that notice that was calling upon interested parties to nominate fit and proper South Africans who meet the criteria. Next. We still continue with the December notice. This notice was published, as we have said, on the 12th on Proclamation 702, then Government Gazette 49858. The closing date, as we have said, was the 19th. The department received 7 nominations from this notice. 4 of the nominations initially did not comply with the stipulated requirements. Of the 7 nominations received, 3 were females and 4 were males. The department sent correspondences through emails to the party or parties and persons who submitted the nominations to provide further information in order to address the non-compliance issues. Similar emails were sent to the parties or persons who submitted nominations in compliance with the first 2 notices, who were not in compliance with the stipulated requirements. Responses were received from all, and as of 20 January, all nominations were compliant to the requirements for submission for nominations. Next, please. Now we're looking at the combined list of nominations that were received from the first round and the second round. The list of nominees as received by the department is as follows. 25 nominees were received following the publication of the notices published in 19 May 2023 and 21 July 2023 respectively. And 7 nominees following the notice were received following the notice of 12 December 2023. 7 nominees are female on the combined list, whilst 2 are below the age of 35. Therefore, the combined total of nominees received by the department is 32 names. Next, please. The list of nominees that were received from December 12 December 24 notice. It was Dr. Michael Olivier Sutcliffe, Dr. Albertus Skuman, Ms. Tomsi Priscilla Dlamini, Ms. Fatima Ismail Kohan, Mr. Johan Mettler, Ms. Matsie Muki, Ms. Joyce Pizzo. Next, please. Now, in this slide, we therefore have the combined list of nominees and the numbers that we have allocated against each name will then assist us to be able to locate the summaries on the tables that are in this presentation. So they are for that convenient. So these are the 32 names. I don't know, Chair, whether I should go through all of them or I can move to the next slide at this point in time.
You can move to the next slide because we have the reports. You can proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Then now the second consultation with the IEC. Next, please. On the 24th of March, the minister consulted with the IEC as required by the Amendment Act. The minister, in consultation with the IEC, recommends the following nominees for approval by the National Assembly in line with Section 29(9)(b) of the Amendment Act to be appointed as members of the panel. The first one is Ms. Faith Pensi Dikeledi Takula, who is a female, and on the list of tables, she will be number 12. The second one is Ms. Matsie Moki, a female, who appears as number 31 on the summaries on the tables. The next one is Ms. Tomsi Dlamini, Priscilla Dlamini, who is also a female, appearing as number 28 on the tables. The fourth one is Advocate Richard Kadibesizan, who is a male, appearing as number 20 on the list, on the tables, on the summaries. The fifth one is Dr. Michael Olive Sutcliffe, is a male, appearing as number 26 on the summaries on the table. The sixth one is Mr. Patudi Simon Mamabulu, a male, appearing as number 23 on the summaries on the table. The seventh one is Mr. Michael Andre Hendrickson, a male, appearing as number 22 on the summaries on the table. The eighth one is Mr. Norman Duplessis, a male, appearing as number 24 on the summaries of the tables. Mr. Arbertus Skuman, a male, Dr. Arbertus Skuman, a male, appearing as number 27 on the tables. Now, I think, Chair, with your permission, I would want to then be going to the tables. I will direct Mr. Njogo where each one appear. So if we go to slide 29, we're gonna find number 12. Now you can see there that Advocate Faith Pensi Dikeledi Takula is number 12 there, submitted a CV. She has a B.Proc, LLB, LLM, an honorary doctorate in legal studies from Val University. She is 66 years of age, female. She has got experience in elections. Previously, chair of the IEC from 2009 to 2014, commissioner of the South African Human Rights Commission, chief electoral officer, IEC 2002 to 2011. Then for number 2, we are moving to slide 36 for Matsie Muki. She is She is number 31. She has LLB, BUris, diploma in justiciability of socio-economic rights, member at Municipal Demarcation Board, lecturer at University of the Northwest University, lecturer at Free State University, legal intern at Akina Mamawa, Africa, Uganda, gender specialist at the Commission for Gender Equality. Then we move to number 3 on slide 35, who appears as number 28. Slide 35. Yes, Ms. Priscilla Dlamini, Masters in Public and Development Management, BCom, International Electoral Assistance, Postgrad course, Management Development Program. A female, like we have indicated, in terms of experience, UNDP Capacity Development Advisor in Somalia and Afghanistan, consultancies in governance, democracy and elections, Deputy Chief Executive Officer, SALGA, Gauteng, Manager, Political Party, Electoral Operations, worked at IC from 1997 to 2007. That was Dlamini. Then we move to slide 32 for Advocate Kalipi. He appears as number 20. He has LLM in public law. He's 64 years of age, male. In terms of experience, he's an academic, he's a South African lawyer, he's a civil servant and former politician. He was a chief director at Traditional Affairs, Deputy Director General, Director General, Provincial Government of KZN, Managing Director at Marulelo Roofing Solutions, Chairperson of the Public Service Commission. In 1994 general elections, he was elected to represent the PAC in the National Assembly. He has about 28 years of financial and legal experience. Then we move to slide 34 to look at Dr. Michael Oliver Sutcliffe, who appears as number 26. He has a Bachelor of Science in Honors, Master of Science, PhD in Geography, Doctorate in Public Administration, age 70, is a male, former eThekwini City Manager, Partner City Insight, Pty Ltd, Independent Development Trust, Ministerial Representative, former Chairperson, Municipal Demarcation Board, Chairperson of Local Government Skills, Education and Training Authority. Then we move to slide 33 to look at Mr. Patudi Simon Mamabolo, who appears as number 23. Master of Management, BA, age 52, male, experience in elections, currently the Chief Electoral Officer within the IEC. Then we will stay with slide 33 to look at number 22, who is Michael Andre Hendrickson. If you can just pull it down, I can't see properly there. Okay, otherwise I will use from my notes here quickly.
I can't advocate.
It is fine if it is not moving, leave it like that. I will read here the part that is not showing. So he has a BA law, he is age 59, he's male, he has experience in elections, previously worked for 12 years as a senior manager at the IEC, serving as a provincial electoral officer, Western Cape, since 2017. Then we move, we are still on 33. We look at Mr. Norman du Plessis. Mr. Norman du Plessis, we couldn't get the qualifications properly, but in terms of the experience, is the Deputy CEO of the Electoral Commission, acting CEO of the Electoral Commission, participated in management capacity in 6 national and 4 municipal elections and 1 referendum, provided technical support in respect of the Electoral Act 1993, member of the Van Zyl-Slabbert Commission, and member of the Ministerial Advisory Committee chaired by Dr. Vali Musa. Then still staying with, okay, we go to slide 34, sorry, to look at Dr. Albertus Skuman. Slide 34, please. Is it frozen? Okay. 34. Yes. So he appears as number 27, Dr. Albertus Skuman, PhD Politics, PG Certificate, Postgrad Certificate, Social Research Methods, Master in Governance and Political Development, Honors in International Relations, Bachelor of Political Science and International Studies, age 33, male, is the author on the development of party systems and democracy, doctoral researcher at the University of Success, researcher and writer on comparative politics, election observer experience. Chairperson, we can then go back to the slide that was just where we were on the recommendations, sorry, on the 24 March consultation with the commission, so that then I can go through the remaining slides. Yes. Thank you. So on this slide, we're just reflecting briefly that after the minister had, consulted and everything, the minister would have received letters from the Speaker of the National Assembly stating that the minister should submit the names of the 9 nominees to the National Assembly for processing. The minister then sought clarity from the Speaker on the procedure to be followed in view of the fact that the minister had already started the process with the Portfolio Committee. On 17 April, the Speaker provided such clarity and stated that the minister must submit the names of 9 nominees under the cover of an explanatory letter addressed to the Speaker, and same will be tabled through the ATC for referral to the Portfolio Committee. On 2nd May, the minister submitted the names of 9 nominees as guided by the Speaker. Next. You can then skip all the tables because we're done with the tables until the next slide after the tables. Now then, we're coming to the administration of the work of the panel. As stated above, Section 23(9)(c) of the Amendment Act empowers the minister to appoint members of the panel as the chairperson of the panel. So the chairperson is appointed by the minister. Section 23(15) of the Amendment Act empowers the Director General of Home Affairs to, subject to the laws governing public service, appoint, second, or designate person to assist the panel to enable it to perform and fulfill its functions. However, in view of the substantial nature of the work the Amendment Act has placed upon the panel, it is foreseeable that the panel might have to establish task teams to get the work done within the legislated timeframes. And in this regard, the minister could look for 2 or 3 nominees from the list of the 32 who have the requisite skills to complement the work of the Secretariat. And to this end, the minister recommends to this committee that if approved, then Advocate Richard Kalipe Sizani to be the head of Secretariat, and maybe to work with Ms. Fatima Ismail Kohan, who is a female appearing as number 29 on the list, and Mr. Temikosi Josobo. I think, Minister, when he comes in, he will elaborate further on this issue, honorable members. On the issue of remuneration of the panel, that issue is governed by Treasury Regulation 20.2.2 of the Treasury Regulations, where the minister then will, from time to time, issue the circular that guides the remuneration of commissions or committees. Next, please. And the recommendations. Next, please. It is recommended that the National Assembly approves the 9 names to be appointed as members of the panel to enable the minister to establish the Electoral Reform Consultation Panel. I thank you, Chair. That is the end of the presentation.
Thank you very much, Advocate Kumalo. The first, I think there was a slide where you need to correct the reading there. It was a joint meeting of a select committee on security and justice. It was not correctional services. I'm just saying that you can deal with that part. I'll invite Minister to comment if there's any other matter. I'll also invite the IEC to comment if there's any other matter, and also just to certify that the consultation was conducted as per the report, and that this report reflects the engagement in terms of the provisions in the Act between Home Affairs or the Minister and the commissioners of the IEC. Minister, I'm inviting you to comment, and then I'll invite Commissioner Miepson.
Thank you. Chairperson, I believe and hope that my apologies reached you. I was supposed to log in, but unfortunately, the plane landed late and we spent a lot of time on the tarmac, just waiting. So, Chairperson, I got in the middle of the presentation of Advocate Kumalo, but from the presentation I've listened to and the one we've prepared, I really don't have anything to comment about. Those are the names that we have recommended and the secretariat that we have recommended. Thank you very much. Otherwise.
Thank you, Minister. Commissioner Miepson.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Minister. I think from us, we want to confirm that in respect of the panel, that is a reflection of the discussions we have had. There is in the slide it is indicated that the minister is to appoint the person to lead the work of the panel, where Advocate Sizani has been appointed, has been designated. We have agreed with all of that. We also acknowledged that this is work that needs a functional secretariat. And we did leave that to the minister to consider that this work will not be one where Advocate Sizani, who leads that secretariat as recommended, would be alone, that there would need to be a functional staff allocated, more so because this work would need to happen at a rapid pace. There is time that has been lost a little bit. That time will need to be recovered. The last thing that we wanted to draw to your attention is the fact that this cannot be if you look at the nature of the work, the people recommended in the panel, these are not going to be people that are just sitting there full time. They will need the Secretariat to process some work and for them to engage as and when it is appropriate or the time is right for them to do. And therefore, we make this recommendation to this committee with all of that in mind. I want to thank you very much for the opportunity. I know my colleagues are here. I trust I have represented their views well. All of us were in the meeting when we consulted with the minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Miepza. I'm now going to invite members to comment on the presentation of the department. In attendance, there's Honorable Pillay, Honorable Roos, Honorable Molekwa, Honorable Van der Merwe, Honorable Khwase, Honorable Kanyile, and Honorable Modise Mtya. Mr. Matonsi will assist me if there's any other member who's in attendance, so that we also note their contributions. Honorable Pillay.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Good morning to you. Good morning to you and all colleagues on the platform. Chair, let me first welcome the presentation. And we appreciate the wealth of knowledge that all of these persons bring, the relevant experiences, and we hope that they would be equal to the task that is afforded to them. Chair, I'd like to actually support this and move that we adopt this report and send it to the NA. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Pillay. Honorable Roos.
Thank you, Chairperson, and thank you to the presenters. Chairperson, I think from the Minister's 9, we certainly support number 28, Ms. Priscilla Dlamini, number 23, Mr. Sayam Amabolo, and number 27, Dr. Albertus Skuman. But Chair, we are here because, you know, we had the act from the MAC, and we agreed that we need to undertake a reform process. And we have 3 that's already served on the MAC and an IEC employee, a very IEC heavy list of names, also some tainted by the Public Protector report, unfortunately. But even that aside, we need to have a more diverse group of persons. It seems quite one-dimensional in terms of government employees, and former government employees, and also missing the opportunity to bring very specific and important skills. So I don't really understand why we would rather have an IEC employee than someone like number 15, Terry Tsalani, who is the executive chair of the Institute of Election Management Services in Africa, the executive board member and senior advisor of the Association of World Election Management Bodies, and has IEC experience, being a former deputy chairperson of the IEC and former commissioner in the IEC. And we believe this would be a much better choice, given his exposure in these electoral management bodies. And then you have the opportunity to bring in the analytical skills of someone like number 11, Michael Atkins, who is going to definitely give you an independent view, has no political affiliations, and has provided invaluable input, certainly to this committee and in general, over the past few years, crunching data, with analytical skills on seat allocation and other related formulas. And absolutely critical to have someone like this on this committee to be able to provide that angle and that input. Then we're also missing the opportunity to bring in someone like number 5, Judge Krichler, who's the former chair of the IEC and a constitutional court judge. And Chase is still very sharp, this Judge Krichler. Chair, it's very important because constantly we are facing these questions about constitutionality of our electoral form. Every single bill that we bring in terms of electoral reform is constantly being challenged in terms of constitutionality. And to have a constitutional court judge on that would really assist us to have that input in advance so that those questions are answered at that stage. Then there are 2 nominees with no discernible electoral experience when you have exciting options such as number 8, Ms. Letlo Khonolo Lechele, who is young and a vocal voice from civil society, an academic from the University of Johannesburg Department of Politics, has worked at EISA, COGTA, and SALO, and is currently an electoral systems researcher at My Vote Counts. I feel that we have no civil society voice in the proposed panel. And we've spoken about a whole of society approach in general, but we really need it in terms of electoral reform in this moment. It's a big missed opportunity. And then number 32, Joyce Pitso. So Joyce Pitso appears to bring election technology experience and elections experience across Africa. So working as a resource center coordinator, manager at IEC, but also a technical advisor, a UNDP supporting elections for Ethiopians in democracy, but has worked at organizations that actually specifically look at election technologies. And so, Chairperson, these persons are the Democratic Alliance's proposals to bring a diversity of skills and a fit for purpose to this panel and different points of view, not the same points of view, the same old points of view. But Chair, each of these names that we've mentioned are bringing a very specific, a new and specific attribute to this panel. So those are our recommendations, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ross, for your comments. Honorable Molekwa. Honorable van der Merwe.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Good morning to yourself. Good morning to the Minister, our DG, our colleagues from the IEC. I hope I'm audible because I'm on the road here in KwaZulu-Natal. Chairperson, thank you very much to the presenter for the presentation that was tabled this morning. I'm going to try and be brief, but firstly, also, I just wanted to say that, I had some concerns with regards to the lateness of this report serving before our portfolio committee. I think when we met with the minister last time in November and we extended the deadline, I think it was made clear that we wanted to have this report considered at least in February or March before Parliament rises. And I think for all of us who are passionate about electoral reform, we wanted to do justice to this process and then to have it sort of last minute tabled to us. I just think we needed more time to consider some of these candidates and the process as a whole. And I was listening to the report. There was a meeting with the IEC on the 24th of March or a consultation, and we're now in mid-May. So it really begs the question why it didn't serve before us earlier. But again, for me, it's not about the names that have been tabled. It is about the names that have been left out. And I think when we embarked on this process, even last time, we said to the minister that we needed to make sure we've got enough women representation, youth, that we really do justice to the process. And so it's not about the names that have been included, it's the names that have been left out. And much like the Honourable Ruiz, I think, for example, one name that I think we should seriously have considered is Mr. Terry Tilani. I think his work, and I'm not going to go through these CVs because most of these individuals are known to us. I think his work speaks for itself. He is an IEC veteran. He's got vast experience on issues pertaining to elections. We've also seen the work of Mr. Michael Atkins. He's also been in touch with our committee on numerous occasions, and he's also got vast experience as an analyst and also an election expert. Two other people that I feel passionate about that should have been included is Ms. Joyce Pitso. She's got election management experience across Africa. She's an election technology expert. And then, as the Honourable Ruiz mentioned, we had not included anybody from civil society. And there's a young person, she's only 29. She holds a BA in politics, MA actually in politics, and that is Ms. Letsele. And she comes from one of the civil society organizations. And I think also we should have considered her in the list. So I think really we needed more time to find each other on some of these candidates because I think as much as there are good candidates included that will do the work and do the work well, I also think we missed an opportunity to include some people that will bring fresh blood, new ideas, and will contribute vastly to the great job that lies ahead. So those are my submissions for now. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable van der Merwe. Honorable Jose.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I just share the same sentiments as Honorable Pillay to say that we've received this report before. We've satisfied ourselves with the qualifications of those that are nominated to serve in the panel. And for me, it was a fair process in as much as the gender representation and youth representation is concerned, as the process was reopened previously to allow more nominations, and the 32 is what the department ended up with. So, Chair, I would also like to support Comrade Pillay in adopting the report and sending it to the National Assembly for adoption. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Lehose. Honorable Kanyile.
Thank you, Chairperson. Greetings to you and to all colleagues on the meeting. Chairperson, I also welcome the presentation and the names that are proposed. I'm in agreement with Honorable Rose that we support the three names that he has mentioned, the name of Skuman, Dlamini, and Mr. Mamavolo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Kanyile. Honorable Mudisemta. Honorable Mudisemta, you can unmute.
Thank you very much, Chair. Let me also take this opportunity and appreciate the presentation. Indeed, this process of putting this panel in place has taken a bit of some time. I believe we could have concluded on this process a bit earlier, but nevertheless, we are here now, Chair. Chair, when you look at the names that have been presented, I think the entire scope of those who would have been nominated would have presented good qualifications and experiences. And indeed, we appreciate those who would have applied their wisdom in ensuring that they select the 9 that the product that has been presented to us today, or above all those who would have applied. We will not all be satisfied with the names. We will not all get what we hope for and want. But I believe the product or the composition will then produce a proper outcome that will assist and take the South Africans forward. This is not about us as political parties or members of this committee, but it's about ensuring that the electoral system or reform of our country is a one that we can be proud and be satisfied of. And we hope that the 9 members that have formed the panel will really not be biased towards any or have views with regard to the landscape or the status of our politics currently existing in our country. Would have had some of the arguments that were brought forward precisely from Honorable Rose regarding particularly one young member from My Vote Counts. Chair, I want to decisively disagree with it in a notion that we all know that My Vote Counts will from time to time send us as members of this portfolio committee emails regarding how they are feeling about issues or processes that are taking place in Parliament. Therefore, I strongly believe that My Vote Counts are not partial. Yes, they are a civil organization, organization or a civil society organization, but I definitely believe that they have views and opinions on certain issues, and they strongly come out to express those views. For me, as part of the criteria that were set on this panel, on the kind of individuals that they must be put on this panel, I think for me that My Vote Count a candidate that is left out, it has been done correctly. So those that who decided not to consider, I think they're in line and it is in order. And in those words, Chair, I want to say I'm satisfied with the names that have been given to us, hoping that this panel will take us forward. I want to then second the move that we must adopt the report and send it to the National Assembly for adoption. Since we just a few weeks away from elections, we need then to conclude this process and move. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mutisemta. Minister or DM?
Chairperson.
Oh, sorry. I requested Mr. Matonzi, Honorable Mukhali, for notice if there's any other member. Thank you, Honorable Mukhali, for raising your voice. You can proceed.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. We note the report presented by the department. However, we just have a concern with the inclusion of the name of Advocate Bansi Tlakula, who was the former chairperson of the what you call the CEO of the IEC. I think we have reservations about her inclusion in this list of nominees, Chair. And I think given how she departed from the IEC in 2014, under a dark cloud over her in terms of what the public protector had found against her, I don't think she should have been part of this list of nominees. The exclusion of the likes of Ndade Teritzelane, also, an experienced person of his caliber who's running his own company which deals with electoral issues. I don't understand why would have a list that will exclude people of this caliber. And also the glaring absence of young people in that list of 9 people that are nominated by the minister. I mean, it's a concern. Or there's not even a young academic among that list, and the fact that we still have the under-representation of women in that whole entire list. Out of 9 of these people, 3 are female. So that on its own is also a serious worry on our part. So those are just the few issues that I just wanted to highlight. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mukhale. Minister comments and the chairperson of the IEC. Minister.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chairperson. Chairperson, the first thing I want to state is that we could only appoint the name.
Minister, you're not audible, Minister?
To the various speakers here. We are just mentioning preferences. None of the speakers complain that we have appointed somebody with no skills, with no qualifications, with no experience. What I'm listening to is just that they prefer other people. They prefer somebody else. For instance, the name of Teritzelane. Can you tell me what more experience is he bringing than those who have nominated, who have served in the IEC, and who are also serving? There's a lot of ample experience about work from the nomination. So anybody who wants to bring somebody on the basis that they were in the IEC and their experience, it's just a preference, really. As far as I'm concerned, we have put in front of you men and women with credentials, with experience, with qualifications, who we believe will bring and to put as many important recommendations as possible in front of who will make a choice. So, Chair, we are satisfied about this committee. Thank you very much.
If there's any other comment, Commissioner Mebza, if there's no comment, we can proceed. Commissioner Mebza?
Chair, I really don't have any more comments other than what has been identified by Advocate Kumalo. The committee will remember that the first advert calling for nominations attracted very little yield. The second one was even worse. And so we had to work with what
Commissioner Mieto, you've muted. I'm not sure if you've concluded your remark.
No, sorry, Chair. I was saying that we must remember that the yield we were working with is what we have, and other than that, I really don't have any further submissions to make. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks very much. I see the hand of Honorable Ruas. Honorable Ruas, if you can comment.
Chairperson, may I just respond to what the Minister said?
Okay, you can proceed, Honorable Ruas.
Chair, it's not true that we didn't say, we didn't give reasons, or we didn't say that there's persons that do lack the experience. We did say that Advocate Sizani lacks the research and electoral expertise and experience. And Ms. Muki as well has no electoral reform expertise. So it's not true to say that we didn't mention that. And certainly some of the names, there's a general consensus, certainly about Terry Tsalani and Ms. Lechele, and even Joyce Pitzer was widely supported. So the Minister can't say that we didn't say that, and we didn't indicate that certain people don't have the electoral experience vis-a-vis those that we recommend. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, members, for having considered and contributed to the names that have been presented before us. And I think all of us we've interacted with this process in the first intake when we've taken a decision to request the Minister and the IEC to reopen the applications. And all of us will agree that all of those that have been supported or nominated have experience to contribute to this electoral reform that Parliament is directed to. All of us note different views that has been expressed, but comfortably the process that has been undertaken by the Minister and the IEC and the interaction that we've had in this meeting. We'll consider the minutes report that has been presented, and Minister, we also consider that it has been a long road to interface with this process. We must also appreciate those that have been appointed to engage in this process, the IEC. And there's a lot of experience and skills in the nine candidates that are before this committee, and including those that have not been found expression in the nine. And we're supposed to get the 9 that must be submitted before Parliament. We also appreciate the caution from the ministry to strengthen the secretariat so that this work were able to function it well. The IEC must thank you for also allowing us to remember it was a decision of the committee to advise the IEC to consider to release one of the current sitting staff or executive to form part of the committee, so that from time to time assist the team, the electoral panel team, and think we must that consideration by the IC. You remember, Commissioner Mievza, you had strong views committee in our last committee meeting that you could not release any of your commissioners. And I can recall at that time, Commissioner Love was also nominated, and also your executive team. But I think we appreciate for releasing the current chief executive officer, Mr. Mamabolo, to do that. You may need to consider, Minister, in terms of the strengthening the secretariat, to look on the matter that has been raised by the committee to expand with the young persons in the secretariat that will assist Mr. Advocate Suzanne and the team, so that it reflects the composition of the team. Our understanding is that the secretariat and also the team will work closely with yourselves and the IEC, and the report that's going to be presented before the next 7th Parliament in the Portfolio Committee is a committee of Parliament that will consider and deliberate on the electoral system that it should be proposed by this committee. In that order, I'm calling for this endorsement of this report. Honorable Pileng has called for the support and supported by Honorable Mudisemza with the issues that have been raised. Can I invite, if there's any objection to the report?
Chairperson, I'm sorry.
Mr. Matonsi?
Yes, yeah, remember there's a report that we have to adopt that will be going to the National Assembly. So if I can go through the report.
No. You're
okay,
not
all right, it's fine.
Mr. Matonsi. We can't read the draft report when we have not noted members. The support of the report, and I'm calling for objections if those are objection to the report. Honorable Ross, I see your hand.
Chairperson, please note the objection of the DA.
Thank you. Honorable van der Merwe.
Chairperson, please note the objection of the Inkatha Freedom Party.
Thank you very much. The report has been carried with the objection that has been raised. Mr. Matonsi, can you then present the draft report of these names?
Okay, Chair. Okay, Chair. This is the draft report of the Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs on nominees to serve on the Electoral Reform Consultation Panel, dated today, 14 May 2024. The Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs, the committee, having considered the letter from the Minister of Home Affairs, the Minister to the Acting Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the list of nominees to serve on the Electoral Reform Consultation Panel, the panel dated 2 May 2024 reports as follows. Introduction. Parliament passed the Electoral Amendment Bill B1D 2022 on 23 February 2023, and the President ascended to it the Electoral Amendment Bill 2023 Act number 1 of 2023, the Electoral Amendment Act on 13 April 2023. The Electoral Amendment Act seeks to provide for independent candidates to contest the election of the national and provincial legislature. Section 23 of the Electoral Amendment Act requires the minister to establish a panel within 4 months after the commencement of the Electoral Amendment Act. The Electoral Amendment Act will commence on 19 June 2023. The function of the panel of the panel are to independently investigate, consult on, and report on, and make recommendation in respect of potential reforms of the electoral system for the election of the National Assembly and the election of the provincial legislature in respect of the election to be held after the 2024 elections. The panel must, prior to 2024 elections, engage in research and consider the issue falling within its functions. After the 2024 election, undertake a public participation process regarding the issue falling within its function. From the date of establishment, submit a report to the minister every 3 months on its progress. The Electoral Amendment Act states that the panel must, within 12 months of the date of the 2024 election, submit a report to the Minister of Home Affairs on the possible option for electoral reform for the election of the National Assembly and the election of the provincial legislature. The report of the panel must, for each proposed electoral system or electoral reform identified by it, include the following: reason, potential advantages and disadvantages, legal and constitutional implication, and financial implication. The report must also reflect the views of members of the panel as to possible options and recommendations for the electoral reform. In order to establish and constitute the panel, the minister must call on the public and any interested parties to nominate fit and qualified proper South Africans, citizens who have necessary skills, expertise, experience, knowledge, academic qualification in the administration and running of elections or constitutional law or electoral system, are not members of parliament or any provincial legislature, and have not in the past 12 months been office bearer of or employees of any political party. The minister then, in consultation with the IEC, and after approval by the National Assembly, appoint 9 members of the panel from such nominated person who satisfy the criteria. The minister must also appoint one of the members of the panel as the chairperson of the panel. Parliamentary processes. On May 6, 2024, the committee received a copy of the letter addressed to the acting Speaker of the National Assembly from the minister dated 2 May, together with the explanatory memorandum containing the list of names of the 9 recommended nominees to serve on the panel for consideration and reporting by the committee. In the letter, the minister indicated that on 19 May, after the consultation with the IEC, a notice was published calling for members of the public and any other interested parties to nominate fit and proper qualified South African citizens to serve on the panel. The Department of Home Affairs realized that the notice was issued before the commencement of the Electoral Act on 19 June, and after the proclamation of the Electoral Amendment Act, the department and the IEC published a second notice to extend the notice period that was published on 19 May until 11 August. The second notice was published on 21 July 2023. On 30 November 2020, the minister briefed the joint meeting of the Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs and Security and Select Committee on Security and Justice regarding the step that the minister and IEC have undertaken in order to obtain nomination from the panel. The minister also provided a list of names of preferred candidates to serve on the panel. After deliberation, the committee resolved that the list did not have enough demographic representation and requested the minister to publish a new notice calling for further nomination. On 12 December, after the consultation with the IEC, the department published a fresh notice calling for members of the public or any interested party to nominate fit and qualified South Africans to serve as members of the panel. The closing date for the submission of the names was 19 January. The minister consulted with the IEC on 24 March and an agreement was reached on the names of recommended nominees to serve on the panel. In the letter to the Speaker of the National Assembly, dated 2 May, the minister recommends the following names for approval by the Assembly to serve on the panel. Number 1 is Ms. Faith Pensi Dikeleli Tlakula. Number 2 is Ms. Mamsi Mwoki. Number 3, Ms. Tomi Priscilla Dlamini. 4, Advocate Richard Kalipile Sizani. 5, Dr. Michael Olive Sutcliffe. 6, Mr. Patuti Simon Mamabulo. 7, Mr. Michael Andre Hendrikse. And then 8, Mr. Norman Duplessis. Then the last one is Dr. Alberta Sukman. The department received a total of 32 names that were nominated in response to all their notices calling for nomination. Out of the 32, only 9 were recommended to the National Assembly for approval by the minister. After deliberation, the committee agreed with the minister and recommends to the National Assembly for the approval to appoint the nominees mentioned in the report above to serve on the Electoral Reform Consultation Panel, and then reports to be considered. And that is that, Chairperson. And also that, just to announce before, that the report will be served in the next sitting, which is on the 16th, to be debated, Chairperson. Thanks, that's all from my side.
Thank you, Mr. Matonsi. Members, this reflects the process that was undertaken by the Minister and the Home Affairs, and also deliberations by the Portfolio Committee. Can I invite members to approve the report?
Chairperson.
Honorable Mudisemse.
We support and approve the report, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Mudisemse. Any seconder?
Chairperson.
Seconded, Chairperson.
Honorable seconded, Honorable Legwa. Honorable Ruas.
I just wanted to confirm whether the objections of the DA and the IEC are noted.
IEC did not object to the meeting to any other.
Not the IEC, the IFP.
Unless I didn't hear
Yes,
it well.
please note my objection to the report, please, Chairperson.
Okay.
Yeah, but, yeah.
I thought. Okay. Thank you, Honorable
Sorry,
Ross.
Chair, just to be clear, it needs to be in the report, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, to be noted,
Yeah.
those objections. The report has been presented and being carried. Thank you very much, members, for this second item. Mr. Matonsi, can you now move to the other item? Can you lower your hands?
Yes.
Yes, Chairperson, it's Adam here. I'll take over from here with your permission.
Proceed.
Eddie, can I confirm that the draft report is displayed?
Yes, displayed. Proceed.
Yes.
Chairperson, I just want to seek guidance with the report is around 20 pages. I don't know if I want to go through the whole report. I can either just focus on the questions and answers by members and then the recommendations, or if there's an interest of time, I can focus purely on the recommendations.
Can I be guided, members, because the report was circulated? Honorable Ross?
Yes, Chair, I think the recommendations are fine. We have read it.
Honorable Pile?
Chairperson, I want to support that we just deal with the recommendations.
Honorable van der Merwe?
Agreed, Chairperson.
Honorable Mudisemse?
Agreed, Chair, we can deal with the recommendations. Thank you.
Honorable Mokhale?
Agreed, Chair.
Okay, thanks, members. Let's focus on the recommendation because we've gone through the report. I think members have interacted with the report. You can proceed, Mr. Salmon. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. So based on the interactions of the members and the visits to both the VFS and the IEC and the DHA head office, these are the recommendations that we extracted from the deliberations that were still outstanding. The first two relate to to VFS, and the remaining are primarily related to the elections. So the DHA should address the delays observed between completing the printing of permits and the dispatching of them as soon as possible. Second, the introduction of a track and trace system like that used in civics must be accelerated for immigration documents. Thirdly, the glitches viewed on the voter management devices must be addressed and a video of the fixes done, submitted to the committee as soon as possible. I think I might add there prior to the elections. Fourthly, prevention of duplicate voting must be arranged by the IEC for some committee members to witness on the special voting day. 5, color schemes of political parties should be aligned on results, maps, and images where possible. In future elections, voter management devices should be used to take photos of result slips for added security. 7, there needs to be a several-day engagement with the future portfolio committee in addition to political liaison committees on the effectiveness of electoral amendments and regulations, such as the ratio of independents that registered and won seats. 8, investigate the inclusion on voter management devices of the correct voting station names for voters who arrive at the wrong voting station. The means by which compensatory seat calculations will be done should be communicated to members prior to the 2024 election. The committee will follow up on the 0 rating of data for the IEC website for all mobile service providers in future elections to assist with both registration and voter education. And 11, the timing for objections or appeals to candidate registration must be factored into the electoral timetable and court proceedings to prevent last-minute logistical arrangements by the IEC. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Salmon. Members, any comment on the recommendation or issues that you want also to? This report is going to be included in our legacy report, and this reflects the discussions we had with the 2 institutions. Honorable Pillay?
Chair, no, I don't have any additions. I think it's been captured, and I support these recommendations. Thank you.
Honorable Ruas?
Chair, the only thing that comes to mind is that we just had the recommendation that the PPP be finalized as soon as possible. The PPP for the service provider of the Visa Facilitation Services.
Okay.
Otherwise, it looks fine.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Van der Merwe, Co-Chair.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. No, I support the recommendations as listed. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Lokhwase?
I follow you, Chair. I support the recommendations.
Thank you. Honorable Mukhale?
No, Wafanje.
Honorable Kanyile, thanks, Honorable Mukhale. Honorable Kanyile.
Thank you, Chairperson. I also support the recommendations. However, Chairperson, I just need clarity on number 3. The recommendation reads, the glitches viewed on the VMDs must be addressed and the video of the fixes done submitted to the committee as soon as possible. Can we maybe get an indication of when can we get this submitted to us so that we can be satisfied that the issue of the VMDs was resolved? Thank you very much.
Okay. Noted that I wanted to come in, but I think I see they will assist us. My understanding from the demonstration was that the tools we're using, the VMD, were not fully functional to those that are going to be distributed across the country. But I think the IEC will assist to clarify point number 3. You recall that there were glitches on the VMDs, which the tools that are used for training in this for this process. But I think the IEC will come in later. Mr. Honorable Disemja.
Thank you very much, Chair. I support the recommendations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I invite just on item number 3, Commissioner Miebza, if you are still in the meeting?
Chairperson, thank you very much, and to the members. In fact, before Honorable Kanyile was going to raise, I wanted to raise issues with recommendations 3 and 4 in particular. But let me deal with the issue. My understanding is similar to yours, Chair. The environment we worked on is not a live environment. In other words, it's not. It was a training environment. And that really was the basis where we worked from. I didn't understand that we need to simulate a live environment and send you a video, because it means that we would have to record every one of those scenarios for you before election day, unless I have missed the committee saying so. I thought that on the critical points that were raised, particularly the issue of a person that had voted before, when the VMD has been applied or used, we showed that the duplication will not be permitted to go through. But I do not want to be to misunderstand this. It is not clear whether the committee is saying they need a complete video of every one of those scenarios, or there's a specific scenario that they're not satisfied with. Let me pause there. I do have another question on 4 that I need to clarify as well, unless my colleagues understand differently. Colleagues, through you, Chair. They don't have a view, Chair, so they don't seem to misunderstand differently from what I do. Let me get the clarity from the committee so that we help the committee appropriately.
You can proceed to number 4, Commissioner.
Number 4, Chair, there is a practical issue that I also did not understand. Members of this committee, some of them are candidates in this election. It is impermissible in law for them to be at a voting station or to be doing this thing in the manner that they're suggesting. They can't also observe. And so I did not also understand that to mean that, some members on election day, unless those that are not candidates in an election are going to do it. Please also clarify that for us. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks. Members have considered the report. I wanted to raise the matters once. Didn't want to disrupt members to the contribution. Point number 4 did not arise in our deliberation of the committee. It's clearer that will not participate in the voting station. I tried to not give notice through the email when I was reading in the report. The rephrase of point number 3, Mr. Salmon, you will need to rework because it may suggest that the VMDs, as you put it, the report in a legacy report, there were some issues that threaten the work of the provincial and national elections. So interpretation of the new committee or any other person that raised may say that difficulties around the VMDs. And I think we need to rework the statement because it was purely for a demonstration for members and there was a sufficient demonstration in that oversight. And all of us who have accepted the work of the VMD, including the work that was conducted throughout the by-elections using the VMT. So I think rework that statement, including the matter that has been raised by Honorable Ruos. We now all of us clearer on the recommendations, and I think we're all comfortable. Members have no issues with the
Chairperson.
Sorry, Minister.
Yes, my hand is up. I'm sure you didn't see it.
Yeah, proceed, Minister. Let me finish. Finalize this one, Minister. I'll call you. Is there any other issue around the point number 3 and 4? We've dealt with it.
Chairperson.
Okay. Honorable Ross? So, Honorable Pillay?
Yes, Chair. Sorry, my hand was up. Chair, I just want to clarify that, because I think it was already explained to us at the IEC that those VMD was actually training gadgets, and training gadgets are obviously not going to be prone to a live election day, and hence you are going to have that, because remember, everybody in the room is using the same login, everybody's using the same details. So, you know, I can't see why we should even have that, Chair. I just think that we need to maybe perhaps remove that. Thank you.
Okay, let's carry that point, Honorable Salmon, point number 3. Then I'll invite Minister. Minister?
Yes, Chair. May I ask Honorable Rios to explain, or somebody here to explain to me? He said something about the PPP in visa facilitation, and I really missed what he was saying. Can it be clarified to me, please? The PPP on visa facilitation, what he said about it. Thank you.
If I didn't get him correct, you will assist us. My understanding was that there's an opening that in relation to procuring services, and I think the department at a particular time they've indicated that they are doing a triple P to this matter that Honorable Ross has raised, and he cautioned that it must be speedily be concluded. Unless I got him wrong, Honorable Ross, you can assist the minister so that you pass the item. Honorable Ross?
Yes, Chair, you got it right. I think that it's something we've been dealing with for the last while, and we received an update there about what the status is of the PPP. Basically, it's the renewal of the tender, because at the moment the service provider is being reappointed without a tender. So this is just the PPP process that's ongoing. It should happen speedily.
Minister?
No, thank you. It's clear. I now understand, Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks very much, members. The report has been carried with all the amendments that has been made by all of us, including our stakeholders, to clarify 2 or 3 things. And thanks very much. We've considered all the reports. The last item is on the legacy report, Mr. Matonsi.
That will be me again, Chairperson.
Chairperson, yeah, that will be Adam, but we need a mover and a seconder on this report, Chairperson, before we move over to the legal report.
Okay. Honorable Ross?
I'll move for the adoption, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Modisemza?
I second, Chair.
Thank you very much. Members, if you recall, we adopted a legacy report in our last, I can't recall the date exact, and agreed that the issues that we will be dealing with in the special committee meeting will then be included in the legacy report, which suggests that now that we've adopted all the reports, will then be included in the legacy report that we've adopted. I'm trying to assist the meeting that we may not read in the entire legacy report, Mr. Salmon, unless there's any other matter that we did not consider, so that we don't spend a lot of time. There's a last item which the whip, Honorable Modise want to carry, and all the colleagues. Can you advise, can I get your sense of understanding, Mr. Salmon?
Yes, thank you, Chairperson. Essentially, yes, what we've these recommendations that we've now adopted in this report will be included along with a summarized version of the committee report on the oversight will be included in the legacy report. So essentially, we'll just add this to that report, and so then we just need the formality of the members having a move and adopt for that process, so that the final report is considered adopted formally.
Okay, thanks, members. We'll then invite for formal adoption of the legacy reports now that we've dealt with all the issues that were before the committee. Can I recognize the hands? Honorable Pile?
Chairperson, yes, Chair, I'd like to move for the adoption of the legacy report.
Thank you. Seconder?
Honorable Modise Mpia, seconds, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Modise. Any objection? No objection to the... So all the issues, the legacy report has been carried. You will include the issues, Mr. Salmon and Mr. Matonsi. Minister, Commissioner of IEC, honorable members, this is our last special committee meeting. Is that my understanding, Mr. Matonsi?
Yes, Chairperson, this is our last meeting. And then, as I indicated earlier on, the panel report will be serving in the National Assembly on the 16th, Chair. So this is our last meeting, Chair.
Thanks very much. We are going to... I've been requested by Honorable Modise Mpia and Honorable Rose that now that is our last committee meeting, they propose to lead the farewell notes, and I will invite them, invite the Commissioner Miepta and also Minister and all members. Honorable Modise Mpia.
Thank you very much, Chair, for affording us this opportunity. Let me thank all the members of this committee, including yourself, Chair, for steering the ship so well during this sixth administration. It has indeed been a very, very complex journey, but your leadership and the guidance at all times has assisted us to ferry and to navigate through the committee matters and processes so successfully. I want to thank the commitment displayed by all the members of this committee across all political parties, your involvement and your participation at all times, your engagements and the views that you would have shared in the committee in steering also the direction that we must take. It has really been appreciated. We thank everyone and we wish all political parties who are going to participate in the upcoming elections on the 29th of May all the best. Though we know that the African Congress is going to win decisively, we wish you all the best in your campaigning. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Honorable Modise Mpia. Honorable Van der Merwe.
Chairperson, I'm sorry, I just arrived at my rally. No, I wanted to say thank you very much. I think, thank you very much for your leadership. I think we must really commend the way you have chaired our committee over this term of Parliament. Really, you treated all of us very fairly, and I hope that we will see each other again after the elections. I hope that everyone stays safe during this election period. I'm not sure about the African National Congress winning, but anyway, let's see after the elections. I want to also thank every MP. I think we worked very well together. I want to thank our support staff for giving us such great support. And I also want to thank the Minister. I think the Minister really led by example always. He's a hard worker. And thank you very much also, Minister, for the leadership that you gave our committee. So I wish everyone well. May the spirit of democracy prevail. And yes, I guess we will see each other hopefully all after 29 May. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ross.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, it's the committee has almost become like a family over the last 5 years. And it was good to have our final in-person oversight. Chair, I think we have achieved a lot, and a lot still needs to be done. But a big thank you, Chairperson, also to yourself. And Chair, when the DA takes over in June, we will do our best to echo the example that you've given on how to chair a committee. Really, our biggest appreciation to you. As Honourable Fanamava said, a very fair chairperson indeed. So thank you for that. Thank you to Parliamentary Legal as well for all the advice over the years in the many bills that we have to go through, as well as our support staff, and then also to the IEC who has really through a lot of the legislation and that also been very receptive to some of the suggestions to allow us to have better legislation. So thank you to them. And then also to the DG Makode. I think we know about our issues that we have, and that many persons approach us. But when you escalate it to the DG, it always gets resolved, and he's very responsive. So thank you very much to him and to Loreng, and to all the staff there that has assisted us in that mammoth task. And then agreed also to the Minister. It is good to have a Minister that is accountable, that comes to the committee, and that answers the questions that come. And sometimes we do disagree. But in some committees, the Minister is just never there. So thank you, Minister, for being in these meetings and for being accountable in them. And all the very best for the election, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ross. Honorable Kwase.
Chairperson, sorry, I also omitted to thank the DG and the IEC. May I just add that to my thank yous? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Kanyile. Honorable Mokhale.
Chairperson, may I proceed?
Proceed, Honorable Kanyile.
Okay, thank you very much. Chairperson, I'd like to take this opportunity to appreciate your leadership and how you have treated us as members of this portfolio committee, and over and above that, in ensuring that we get to serve the people that elected us to be in the positions that we are in. And with that being said, Chairperson, I'd like to take this opportunity to also appreciate the Minister Motsoaledi, the Deputy Minister as well, Mzuza, for their leadership. To be honest with you, there's a lot that we have achieved in this term, even though we do acknowledge that a lot still needs to be done. But I do believe that we have shifted things in as far as the Home Affairs is concerned. And I'd like to express my gratitude as well to the DG, Mr. Makode, the DDG of Civic Services, or Mr. Sigama, as well as the acting DDG, Mr. Matthews, for their leadership and for always ensuring that they attend to all the queries that we have escalated to them. We do appreciate that they don't sit around and wait for our issues, but they do make it a point that they prioritize our issues. I'd like to appreciate Oli Ring as well, and appreciate EIEC, and hopefully we will see each other after the 29th of May. Thank you very much. Even to the colleagues in the Portfolio Committee, I think we have done all that we have done. We have achieved what we have achieved through the collective teamwork. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kanyile. Honorable Mokhale.
No, let me also thank you, Chairperson, for the manner in which you have been chairing the committee. We really appreciate that. And to also thank you, the support staff, the likes of Date Matonzi, and all members of the committee. So we are really grateful for the participation and the contributions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Makhale. Honorable Pile.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chair, I think this is quite a bit sweet for me. Let me first acknowledge and appreciate the role that you have played as the chairperson of this committee. I came in at a time where we were not having physical meetings, but the way in which you steered the ship and got us to understand and grasp everything. We appreciate your leadership. We must applaud you for having carried the mandate and the way you carried out the meetings. I also want to appreciate the whip and the role that she's played. Chairperson, all other honorable members, including the opposition, who I must tell you, this is one committee where we don't fight a lot. And we're able to, there were many times where Honorable Roos will agree with what the ANC is saying, and we must appreciate that. I want to thank the IEC. I want to thank Home Affairs, the DG in particular, and his DDGs, DDG Sigama and Matthews, who have really, appreciated the role that we play as members of parliament in the oversight, in that they would never fail to return a call or reply to an email. And I think that is what all public servants would need to do. And that's an example that they really set. The minister, for his exemplary role in this committee, I think it's one of the committees where we can even count the number of times he may not have been here. In fact, he's attended almost every single meeting, including the deputy minister. Thank you to all members. Thank you for the opportunity of having served here. And I want to concur that the ANC will definitely win this election, and we will still have an ANC chairperson in this committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Pillay. Commissioner Miebza.
Chairperson and members, I want to thank you. I think it's appropriate, to say that electoral democracy in the Republic has not disappointed, at least in the last 5 years. But if one looks at it over 30 years, it has grown both in terms of depth and in the way of maturity and challenges it has presented. This portfolio committee, I submit on behalf of the Commission, had to deal with possibly the toughest challenges since 1994. We have navigated novel legislation. We have endured some difficult constitutional challenges, but we have also had many, many good moments. We have dealt with these things, we think, from the Commission to the benefit of our nation. We want to thank each and every one of you in this committee. And Chair, the words of thanks to you personally have been said, but I want to extend that to every member. And we have not had any reason to think that this is not work that is not to the benefit of our nation. Our stakeholders, we must say, in this committee, there are many civil society organizations that have stayed the course and have made submissions and have engaged us. At times it seemed tough. At times it was nuggets of wisdom. We want to acknowledge it and thank them for it. I wish to thank the Minister of Home Affairs and his administration. We have noted in this term particularly that Home Affairs deals with the basic issues that touch every life in this country every day. May they continue in strength and in their service to the people of this beautiful nation. And lastly, Chair, I want to say we hope our paths will cross again soon. We wish you well as we go through this election, and you yourselves are going through it. May this paths cross, and may we continue to serve our nation with even greater desire to succeed. Thank you very much indeed.
I Chair. Mr. Myepe has concluded.
Yes, I have concluded indeed.
I Chair. Mr. Play.
Yes,
Mr. Play.
Yes.
Yeah, it's massive chairperson has got connecting issues. If you can continue where he left.
No,
I Chair, can you?
Minister, you can proceed.
Yes, Chairperson, thank you. Thank you very much. Let me also extend my sincerest gratitude to members of this committee. I'm not really seeing you in your faces, but I couldn't wish for a better committee. We have worked very, very well for the past 5 years. I have read a lot of press statements and in both electronic and written about battles and wars between members of portfolio committees and their various departments over which they pay oversight. We have never, ever experienced such altercations of war here. It has always been a lot of cooperation. I'm very, very grateful of that. That's why I'm saying I couldn't wish for a better committee or for better members of a portfolio committee than the present honorable members. Also, the work we've done with the IEC has always been smooth, even at very difficult times. It has always been very smooth. I really appreciate that, and I wish it continues like that for the sake of our democracy. Lastly, Chair, I want you honorable members to pat yourselves in the back because of the achievements we've made. I wonder whether you are aware that within these 5 years, we're able to pass a law to establish a very, very important structure, the Border Management Authority, and even put boots on the ground. As I'm talking now on Thursday, it's a graduation for the second cohort of border guards. As you know, we had a cohort of border guards who were 200 in number. We got another 200 from the villages and trained them from the beginning since last year. They are now qualifying. There's a passing out parade on Thursday. This is the work of this committee. And again, as you know, the Electoral Law Amendment Act and many other acts that were very important were passed during this term. I thank you. I hope we meet again in future and very soon. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. Director General, on behalf of all your DDGs and staff.
No, thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Minister. And of course, the Deputy Minister in absentia. I would like to echo the words that the Minister has just indicated, that this committee, Chairperson, I've interacted with a lot of committees in Parliament, has dealt with some of the most complex legislation, and of course, emanating from court challenges, as Honorable Pillay is indicating. But as you reflect on the legacy of this committee, I think you have done well as a committee. We have committed to undertake a whole lot of initiatives led by this committee, and we've been able to execute based on the oversight that you continuously exercised over the department and allowed us space to do that work, whether it's related to infrastructure projects, such as your new Dusikisiki office, your new Mukopane office, the expansion to the malls, and the activities that the minister has indicated with regards to the BMA. All those have been through this committee, really nudging us in the right direction. And I think you have also contributed in getting government to really push other departments to recognize Home Affairs as a security department. And to this day, we now serve in very important security structures in the country. And I already appreciate the support that we have received from Mr. Matonzi, Mr. Simons, and also all the honorable members that have really been supportive to the department on behalf of the DDGs that are in attendance and those that are not in attendance. We really appreciate the support that we've received from the committee. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you very much, colleagues. In 2019, we were led by Honorable Bongani Bongo as the chair of the Portfolio Committee. We must collectively thank him for having contributed to the work of the Portfolio Committee from that time to date. Honorable Modisemta, Honorable van der Merwe, Honorable Roos, Honorable Lukwase, Honorable Kanyile, Honorable Molegwa, Honorable Mohale, Honorable Pillay. We thank you very much for having assisted the work of the committee. We're also joined by Honorable Tejana, Honorable Mqini, Honorable Tito, and a veteran Lekota. All of us, we've worked as a collective, but expressed different views with the intention to work with the stakeholders that were conducting oversight too. So I want to thank you, members of the committee, that we have worked closely, but also made sure that we conduct our oversight to the Border Management Authority, Government Printing Works, the IEC, and Department of Home Affairs. And I want to appreciate the work that we've conducted. Minister and the DM and the DG and then all the DTGs, thanks for working closely with the committee. I think Honorable Pillay, you're correct that I can count apologies that were reported from 2019 to date of all the entities that we're dealing with. And we must appreciate that collective work. And we hope that Minister and your team, in particular the DG, that the Committee of Home Affairs that will be dealing with will also work closely in the manner that you've demonstrated your work and your team with the Portfolio Committee of Home Affairs. When we entered the 2019, the chairperson of the IEC was Commissioner Mashinini and the entire team. I want to thank all the commissioners by then and Commissioner Mashinini for having worked with the committee closely in exercising the roles that we were mandated to do. In the interim of our term, or in the course of our term, Commissioner Mieta was appointed to be the chairperson, and all the commissioners. I want to thank you for having worked closely with us. And indeed, Commissioner Mieta, this was the most difficult, complex legislation the committee has to navigate and deal with. And I want to appreciate all the commissioners, including the Chief Electoral Officer, Mr. Mamabolo, and all his executive and the staff for having working closely with the team. The Parliamentary Legal Service, the entire Parliamentary Legal Service team, and the state law advisors want to appreciate the work that we've assisted the Portfolio Committee from 2019 to date to exercise our work, but also to advise on legal issues, but also allowing members of the committee to have different views in terms of the application of the advices you're providing to the committee, but also for yourself also to accept the advices that committee members are carrying in line with the work that we want to appreciate the work that we've been doing. Mr. Twalo, Ms. Twalo, Dr. Twalo with your team, Ms. Salmon, Mr. Salmon, Mr. Matonsi, Ms. Babalwa, Mr. Arense, and Langa. We want to thank all of you for supporting all members of the Portfolio Committee to exercise, discharge their responsibility. Minister, we extend our appreciation to the Border Management Authority Commissioner, Mashiapata, and the team of Government Printing Works. We have dealt with complex issues, in particular to Government Printing Works. We hope that in the next term, they will also up their game and improve their administrative and governance work. But in closing remark, members, I want to thank all the colleagues and the stakeholders, the NGOs we're dealing with in the electoral process, and want to appreciate their contribution to this. The members of the committee or members of parliament could not have been done all this legislation without public consultation, political parties who are not in parliament, NGOs, and all the members who supported our work of parliament. Thanks very much, Mr. Matonsi. With this remark, I hope that the meeting this was the final special meeting, no any other meeting, and we hope that we'll come back in the next 2029. Members, there are 3 ballots, just for a reminder. Honorable Ross, 3 ballots that must be carried on the 29th. And I think you know that we have a responsibility to continue to extend awareness around what is expected of the electorate on the 29th of May. The special votes going to be cast on 27th and 28th. And all of us who must continue to work closely and assist the IEC in the coming elections. I'm fully aware and confident that the African National Congress will remain and come back in 2029. Honorable Ross, don't need to panic on any other thing. Yours is to assist mobilizing behind the African National Congress. Mr. Matonzi, is there any other matter?
Chairperson, there's no other matter.
Thank you very much. The meeting stands adjourned.
Just go and vote IFP, Chairperson. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Chairperson. Bye.
Indeed. Hey, Moses.
Yeah, but this is how we end our year and your term. So, yeah. We will see you bright and early in June 2024.
No, let me do this now. Wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait. You know what I'm doing, eh?